is going on with your YouTube? You guys are now watching another segment of TheCaliEffect by the king of games himself. And today, we're gonna skip through all of the introductions and get straight to the meat and potatoes. You guys wanna see how awesome the Infinity Chaser set is, and also have the confirmed rarities, as well as know what do I think of the price points of these certain cards. It's gonna be really awesome. And one thing I also want to point out is not in Dark Neostorm, but the set afterwards, we are confirmed to have some support for all three archetypes inside of this set. And it does have some pretty awesome reprints that I want to make you guys aware of. So we're gonna split this video into 4 different parts. First 3 parts are going to be about the 3 archetypes, and then also the last part is just some notable reprints. While this didn't have any pizzazz, it didn't have the spicy reprints, it did give us a really good reprint and some other cards that we should be looking out for. So starting off with the archetypes, we're going to start looking at Infinite Track, but also in the TCG it is known as Infinite Ignition. And the first card to talk about is Infinite Ignition Harvester. This monster says if this card is normal summon or special summon, you can add 1 Infinite Ignition monster from your deck to your hand. I'm sorry, I'm reading it off. It keeps saying Infinite Track, except Infinite Ignition Harvester. You can target 1 other machine monster you control. The levels of that monster in this face-up card become their combined levels into the end of this turn. You can only activate the effect of Infinite Ignition Harvester once per turn. So this card is a secret rare inside of the set. I think that's pretty good that it's a secret rare. It seems like the card that you must play 3 of. I can see this card being no more than $10 when the dust settles, but to be honest with you guys, from what I've seen, Infinite Ignition doesn't look like a very viable deck right now. There's only one deck that looks really viable, like right off the bat, but I could be wrong. All 3 of them could be good, but I don't see this card being more than $10. But if it's more than $10 at pre-release and you guys have it, you want to get rid of it, I'd probably get rid of it for other cards. I don't see Infinite Ignition doing much of an impact, at least right now. Going into the next card, one thing I also want to say is that they're Infinite Ignition monsters, but they don't, like, their effects aren't infinite. Next is Infinite Ignition Rock Anchor, and this level 4 Earth Machine monster says when its card is normal summoned or special summoned, you can special summon 1 Earth Machine monster from your hand in defense position. You can target 1 other machine monster you control. The levels of that monster and this face-up card become their combined original levels. It seems like that one effect seems to follow through the entire archetype of the Ignition, or at least the lower level monsters at the very least. I think that this card is actually you could say it's pretty good. It's worth its secret rare status, and no more than $10 would be the price point. So hypothetically, if this Infinite Ignition deck is a lot better than what I expected, and it is a tier 1 deck, we can see both of these cards being $20 to $30-ish each, maybe, and you obviously would need 3, but I just don't see it being that powerful. Maybe a $10 price point is exactly what I'm going to stick on. I'm not going to say that this card is worth anything more. Next, I think is our first super rare, which is Infinite Ignition Crab Crane. Man, I'm so bad with these. Oh, hold on. Wait, what is that? That's my PlayStation. That's my PlayStation, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry about that. I'm gonna go ahead and pause that right now. That was my PlayStation. I feel so bad. Let me actually just turn this off. Woo! That's me getting the Baptiste update right now. That's that Baptiste update, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to get in Overwatch. But basically, Infinite Ignition Crab Crane, it says you contribute 1 Earth monster, special summon this card from your hand in defense position. You can banish 1 machine monster from your graveyard, add 1 out-trigger extension from your deck to your hand. You can only use the effect of Infinite Ignition Crab Crane once per turn. It is a level 5 machine that can be searched and then summoned right off the bat, and add your out-trigger extension. I'm not sure. I mean, obviously it's a super rare, so it won't be worth much no matter what, but I'm not sure how powerful this card is because it seems really good. One thing I do like about this archetype in itself is that it just revolves around Earth machines. So hypothetically, you can play the Machinas, however you want to say it. You can play those. You can play the gadgets inside of this deck. Will it be effective? I'm not 100% sure, but I do like that it does play nice with the other machines and Gear Gear, as well as Ancient Gear. The next monster we're going to be talking about is Infinite Ignition Drag Shuffle. It is a super rare inside of the set, and it says you contribute 1 Earth machine, special summon this card from your hand in defense position. It seems like all of the monsters that are level 5 or higher have the ability to tribute Earth machine monsters to place them to your side of the field. Their attack and defense stats aren't that great, but I mean, you can't really have it all. You can banish one machine monster in your graveyard, add one spin turn from your deck to your hand. Not only do they summon themselves, but they allow you to gain resources while they are on the field. Pretty decent. I don't see these cards being more than 2-ofs inside of your deck, and I obviously don't see them being more than $1 because they're super rares. On to the next card, Infinite Ignition Trencher. This level 5 guy has the exact same first effect, tributing it to spell summon itself. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one level 5 or lower Infinite Ignition monster in your graveyard, spell summon in defense position. Okay, so it's a monster reborn, but more importantly, you kind of want this card in your graveyard. I wouldn't want to see this card in your hand, but if you do, you can always just link off with it. Next is, actually, let me make sure that is a secret rare. This is the bad secret rare, ladies and gentlemen. I just don't see this card being more than $5. I don't. It feels like a great card. I'm pretty sure it's a good card, but it's not one of those cards you play 3-ofs like the ones that we talk about. No matter what, I just don't see this card being more than $5. On to the next card, ladies and gentlemen. Infinite Ignition Tunneler is a super rare. It says you contribute one Earth monster. You guys already know it's a level 5. To summon this card, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one level 5 Earth machine monster in your graveyard, shuffle it into your deck, and draw 2 cards, one for the bricks and one for the board. I got 2 cards. I'm not gonna keep rapping, but on to this card is actually pretty good, but I can only see it being a 1-of inside of the Infinite Ignition deck. Granted, I haven't fully built Infinite Ignition deck. It'd be really exciting to actually get down and dig deep into the archetype and try to figure out some busted combos. Scrap Recycler already comes to mind as one of those cards that you guys should be buying before it skyrockets in price, but I don't tell you guys what to buy before they skyrocket in price. I wait until it gets high in price. Remember, that's what somebody told me. On to the next card. It's Infinite Ignition River Stormer, and this is the 5 XE monster that requires 2 level 5 monsters. I like that it's very generic. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, already not so great effect. You can attach that monster to this card as material. Not too bad. You can only use the following effects of Infinite Ignition River Stormer once per turn. You can detach one material from this card. Take one Earth Machine monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. That's kind of good. If this card is in your graveyard, you contribute one Machine Link monster to spell summon this card in defense position. So not only can you link it away, you can bring it back by tributing a monster. I think that this is a very solid card for the Infinite Ignition archetype. It even gets you a free search or a send, meaning that you can send your other level 5 Infinite Ignition monsters that want to be in the graveyard and start gaining their effects to pop off. This card's actually really good. I like it a lot. And it is a secret rare. It looks like a 3-of inside of the deck, maybe a 2-of. So I can see this card being maybe $10-ish, maybe at max. But if Infinite Ignition doesn't necessarily be the deck that it wants to be, $2. Like, it's not. Keep in mind, guys, secret rares don't really mean much inside of this set because they're not real secret rares. Like, you're not opening a booster box and getting a maximum allotment of 2 secret rares per set. You're getting a secret rare every pack. So the odds of you seeing this card more is just a lot higher. On to the next card. We're going to be talking about Infinite Ignition Mountain Smasher, a level 7 Infinite Ignition monster, which means you have to do some level manipulation to get to this card. It requires 2 level 7 monsters, still keeping 1 generacy, and it says, when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, guess what? You can attach that monster as a material. Seems like the theme for these Infinite Ignition monsters. You can detach 1 material from this card, it gets 1,000 attack. Okay. If this card is in your graveyard, you contribute 1 Machine Link monster spell summon in the defense position. This card is a little lackluster, mediocre, and it is a super rare. Don't expect this card to be more than 50 cents when the dust settles. What I do like about it is that it's a 3100 beater. I mean, I guess. And it seems like all Infinite Ignition Exceed monsters follow that exact same theme of being able to tribute a Link monster to summon themselves back to your side of the field, which means that if you did make them before you Link summon, then you got it for free. And it also, they seem to have the ability to attach a monster they destroy by battle. So on to the next card, Infinite Ignition, which is nothing infinite about these cards so far. Earth Slicer. This requires 2 level 9 monsters, so you really got to do some level manipulation to get into this card, but I'm already excited because they're generic, so hopefully they have a great generic effect. When this card destroys a monster by battle, yada yada yada, you're getting the theme. You can detach any number of materials from this card, then target that many cards on the field and destroy. Whoa, a 3100 beater that can destroy cards on the field. Move out of the way, True King of all calamities. This is a new boy that level 9 decks like True King Dino or Zephyr can play with. If this card is in your graveyard, obviously tribute a Machine Link monster to spell summon this card. So yes, I am liking Infinite Ignition Earth Slicer, and it is a secret rare, but I still don't see it being a very expensive card, seeing that Infinite Ignition can't easily make this card, or maybe they can easily make this card, but they don't have, how do I say it? They need multiple cards to make it, which is just like any other deck, but still at the same time, it's like, I just don't feel like they can make this as easily as they can make the level 5 monster. Maybe I could be wrong. Let's check out the rest of these cards. Next is Infinite Ignition Goliath. This is your Link 1. Whoa! And it requires 1 Infinite Ignition, 1 non-link Infinite Ignition monster. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target 1 Xyz monster you control, attach this card as material to that monster. Whoa! Whoa! So hold on. You can use your Infinite Attract machine link monsters to summon this card, and then you contribute this card to summon it and then attach it back as a material. This is crazy. I love this card already. You can only use this effect of Goliath once per turn. An Xyz monster whose original attack is machine and had as this card as material gains this effect. It cannot be destroyed by card effects. Whoa! It's a super rare. Whoa! I was gonna say, if this is a secret rare, this card could be a pretty good price. I'm loving this card. I am McDonald'sing this card. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba to this card. I like it, but it's not gonna be worth anything. Still a really powerful card for Infinite Ignition. The next card we're going to be talking about is Infinite Ignition Fortress Megaclops, a Link 3. Whoa, so not only did they get a Link 1, they get a Link 3 as well. And the arrows are looking scrum-diddly-umptious. You have the 2 arrows pointing down, but when you can summon it to your side of the field, you have the arrow pointing to the right. It requires 3 Xyz monsters. Whoa, that just turned me completely off. Like, whoo! Oh, man. I got soft real quick. Don't listen to that, kids. It says, unaffected by other monsters' effects, except Xyz monsters, cannot be destroyed by battle except with an Xyz monster. Whoa, that's kind of good though. Xyz monsters aren't that prevalent. You can target 1 Xyz monster in your graveyard and 1 card your opponent controls, special summon that monster from your graveyard, and if you do, attach that opponent's monster to this card as material. Also for the rest of the turn, any damage your opponent takes is halved. Okay, it's not great, but still a 4K beater that requires 3 Xyz monsters. I mean, I'm assuming in this deck that's not too hard to do. I don't like the fact, I'm not in love with the fact that it requires 3 Xyz monsters, but its effects definitely working. It's a secret rare, but I don't see players playing more than 1 or 2 copies of this card. Expect this card to be no more than $5, ladies and gentlemen. On to the next card for Infinite Ignition. We are playing Out Trigger Extension. It says, your opponent cannot target machine monsters you control with card effects. I'm already liking where this is going. Once per turn, you can target 1 Infinite Ignition Xyz monster you control. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except for machine earth monsters. Also special summon from your extra deck 1 machine Xyz monster that is 2 ranks higher, so it's a rank up card. By using that monster as material, that's actually really good. Now you have a way to get into your rank 9 Xyz fairly easy, and I love how this card says for the rest of the turn you can't summon anything except for Earth Machine. So you can play all those other types on your side of the field until you go around to resolving this card's effect. It's a continuous card. It's searchable. I love this card. It is a super rare, so expect to have easy access to it for a very cheap price. The next card we're going to be talking about is Spin Turn. What are you spin turn? Like, so if I'm spinning, am I turning? I don't get it. Activate 1 of these effects. Target 1 attack position Earth Machine monster you control, and 1 monster your opponent controls. Change the battle position of that monster, and if you do, destroy that opponent's monster. Target 1 5th position Earth Machine monster you control, and 1 spell or trap card changes battle position. This card, I like that it's searchable. So like, just the fact that it's a free search, and it allows you to get like stuff, like it's just free. Like, you can't argue with it. The fact that it's free is just like, that's making me want to play it. It's a super rare too, but its effects are just so, it's whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's good, but it's not great. It's not something that propels the archetype. This seems like a one of inside of the deck just because it's searchable and it's free. The last card for Infinite Ignition, oh, I'm sorry, that's it for Infinite Ignition. Let's start talking about the next archetype. I'm pretty excited for this archetype in itself. It seems really, really fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on to the next set. We're going to start off, or the next strategy, we're going to start off with Witchcraft Pottery. And this card is, or the Witchcraft archetype, feels like Sky Striker's Spellbook-esque like cards. This card says, during your main phase, you contribute this card to discard 1 spell card, specify 1 Witchcrafter monster from your deck, except for Pottery. If you have no cards in your hand, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 Witchcrafter card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use the effect of Witchcrafter Pottery once per turn. I like this card. It's a super rare. Don't expect expect it to be too expensive just because of its super rare status, but ultimately it's a very good card for the Witchcraft archetype. It seems like a 2 or 3 of. Next is Witchcraft Pottery. All right, I know I'm butchering these cards' names, but you guys gotta work with me, ladies and gentlemen. I failed out of high school. I didn't even get to high school. I barely got past 7th grade. I'm a little slow. Okay, none of that happened, but still. Witchcraft Kotori says, once during your main phase, I apologize, quick effect, you contribute this card, discard 1 spell card, special summon 1 Witchcraft monster from your deck, except for Witchcrafter, this card. You can banish this card from your graveyard, draw 1 card, then send 1 Witchcraft card from your hand to your graveyard. Or if you have none, banish your entire hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, you draw 1 card, so it's like Graceful Allure of Darkness with only 1 card. Maybe it depends on well, you can discard any Witchcrafter card, so it's literally getting Witchcrafter cards into your graveyard, which it seems like Witchcrafter monsters have their good graveyard effects, so it doesn't seem like a bad card. And even the banish your entire hand, while the banishing part seems really bad, actually the banish part, I can't make up for it, but the Witchcrafter monsters seem to have graveyard effects, so discarding a Witchcrafter card, hopefully a Witchcrafter monster to gain its effects, seems pretty good. This is a secret rare. I'm not 100% sure how this card fits in the Witchcrafter spectrum, but just looking at it, I don't see it more than $5. It just doesn't seem like, maybe it's something that I'm missing. Maybe it's some Witchcrafter cards that like to be discarded or get you some insane advantage from being discarded. On to the next card, Witchcrafter okay. Witchcrafter Fire Lady that looks like, oh my god, you know she looks like, what's her name off of Fairy Tail? The one that re-equips? I don't like Fairy Tail, so I can't tell you, but she looks like that. During the main phase, you contribute this card, discard 1 spell card, special summon 1 Witchcrafter monster from your deck. I like this card already. This is a 3 of. You can banish this card from your graveyard, send 1 Witchcrafter card from your hand to the graveyard. That's it? You can banish this card from your graveyard, send 1 Witchcrafter card from your deck to the graveyard, except for her. You can only use each effect once per turn. She is a 3 of. She is a super rare. If she was a secret rare, I'm like, man, she's pretty freaking dope. She tutors monsters to use out of the field. She allows you to send Witchcrafter cards from your deck to your graveyard, which gives me a strong belief that Witchcrafter cards have great graveyard effects. I like this card a lot. The next card we're going to talk about is Witchcrafter Adele, and this is a super rare. It's quick effect. Obviously, discard 1 spell card, special summon 1 Witchcrafter monster from your hand. So we have 1 to special summon from the hand, we have 1 to special summon from the deck. We have the other one that special summon Witchcrafter. Oh no, we have 2 to special summon from the deck. Maybe I'm not reading this right. So Kotori says tribute this card, special summon 1 Witchcrafter monster from your deck. Oh wow, tribute and discard special summon 1 Witchcrafter monster from your deck. This one says tribute this card, special summon. Oh, they all, okay, so 2 of them. Oh, so they all special summon from the deck. What am I doing? They all do the same thing. No wonder why she's only a super rare. They all can special summon from the deck. My apologies. You can discard special summon from your, this one special summons from the hand though, and it is a level 5 Witchcrafter monster. You can tribute this card, target 1 spellcaster monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use the effect of Adele once per turn. It is a super rare. I don't see this card being played more as a 2 of. It doesn't seem like a terrible card, but I'm waiting for that pizzazz. I'm waiting for that sauce, that big boss monster that gets you so much advantage in the graveyard, or that big boss monster that gets you advantage in your hand. The next card is Witchcrafter Hane, and it is a level 7 spellcaster monster. Super rare. Your opponent cannot target other spellcaster monsters you control with card effects. Not a bad effect, especially seeing that you can tutor it from your hand or deck pretty easily. You can discard 1 spell card, then target 1 face-up card your opponent controls, destroy it. Is this a masterpiece? This is literally a masterpiece. You guys already know, I'm from the south of the west, so my brain had to like process this. This is a freaking masterpiece. They have a masterpiece, and it's even more searchable than the other wow, I like this card. It's probably a good 2 or 1 of. I mean, just because it's so searchable and recurable, like it doesn't even matter. Witchcrafter Madam There. Now, I'm pretty sure this one is going to be the boss, because not only does this look like the most lolly card Konami has ever produced, it also has a pretty long effect. During damage calculation, if your spellcaster monsters battle an opponent's monster, you can reveal any number of spell cards with different names in your hand, and if you do, your battling monster gains 1,000 attack for each card revealed. Oh, sweet. While she doesn't have a strong attack herself, she can pump herself up pretty nice. Or in other monsters until the end of the turn. You can discard 1 spell card, negate the effects of all face-up monsters, or all face-up monsters your opponent can Sorry, I had to reboot real quick. You can discard one spell card, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls into the end of the turn. You can only use the effect of Witchcraft Matter of Air once per turn. Well, madam, you're probably 26,000 years old, just like how normal shows go, and she is a great card. She's a secret rare, but I only see Witchcraft decks only playing 1 or 2 copies of it, no more than $10, ladies and gentlemen. I know, she seems like a really good card, but I just don't see playing multiple copies of her. I don't see a need. On to the next card, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I could be completely wrong with these ratios and prices, but I'm pretty good at guessing prices and ratios. Unless there's some short print, then, you know, I pretty much got it down. Witchcrafter Creation says, add 1 Witchcrafter monster from your deck to your hand. That's pretty good. During your end phase, if you control a Witchcrafter monster while this card is in your graveyard, whoa, the spells have graveyard effects, you can add this card to your hand. Well, this is the $30 secret rare for Witchcrafters, ladies and gentlemen. This is the card everybody's gonna want. It's powerful. Not only is it a reinforcement of the army, it allows you to recur itself, but you can only use 1 Witchcrafter Creation effect once per turn and only once that turn. So don't get too hyped. You can't be able to add and then the end phase add to your hand, but you are able to mix in between both. And it says during your end phase. For a second I said during the end phase. I'm like, whoa, this is pretty good. So this, in my opinion, is the $30 secret rare if Witchcrafters become a competitive deck. Regardless, I don't see this card falling less than maybe $20 to $15 just because it's a really, really good card. On to the next card, Witchcrafter Holiday says, target one Witchcrafter monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Oh, sweet. During your end phase, it does the exact same thing. So this is a secret rare as well. Unfortunately, it's not as good as Witchcrafter Creation. That is a 3 of. This might be a 2 of-ish. I mean, maybe even still a 3 of, because Witchcrafters do have a great way of putting themselves into the graveyard. So yeah, I can see this card being the $15 to $20 card at max. On to the next card, Witchcrafter Collaboration. It says target one Witchcrafter monster you control. This turn, it can make a second attack during each battle phase. You combine that with the Lolly Chick that battling monsters, but you still combine it with the Lolly Chick. She can attack multiple monsters and then you can give them attacks. So that's pretty good. Also, if it attacks, your opponent cannot activate spell and trap cards to the end of the damage step. Plot twist, opponents activate monster effects, so that's not that great. During your end phase, if you control a Witchcrafter monster, guess what? You can add this card from your deck to your hand. That's pretty good. Next is Witchcrafter Draping, which is a quick play spell. Quick plays are probably the best card effects in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because you can activate them during the battle phase, you can activate them during your opponent's turn, and they normally have some pretty good effects. Target spell or trap cards your opponent controls up to the number of Witchcrafter monsters you control, return those targets to the hand. And it's a quick play, so you can do it on your opponent's turn. And then you can add it to your hand during your turn. Huh. That's, I like this card. This is pretty good. It's a solid 1 or 2 of. Next is Witchcrafter By Street. I thought I was going to say Bay Street. It is a secret rare from Affinity Chasers. It is a continuous spell card. The first time each Witchcrafter, you know what? I'm thinking of The Witcher as many times as I'm saying this card. The first time a Witchcrafter monster you control will be destroyed each turn by battle or card effect, it is not destroyed. Okay, that's decent. Built-in protection. You can only use one of the following effects once per turn, and only once that turn. If a Witchcrafter monster you control with discards an activated effect, you can send this card from your field to the graveyard instead. Good. During your end phase, if you control a Witchcrafter monster while this card is in your graveyard, place it in your spell and trap card zone. Whoa! Whoa! And the Witchcrafter monsters are quick effects. They're quick effects, ladies and gentlemen. So you can literally gain its ability on your turn, and then during the end phase, you can place it back to your side of the field and then gain its ability again. Wait, am I missing something? No, it's during your end phase, but still, that's still good. I like the card. It's easily, maybe even a 3 of inside of the Witchcrafter deck. I don't see it. I don't know. I'm conflicted with this card because I can't like draw in my head right now, I can't draw a card that it's similar to, but it does seem like the engine of the deck seems really important. It seems like a 3 of maybe 10 to 15 each, maybe 20 each. I'm not seeing 30 each. It's not screaming like, it doesn't have a stupid busted effect on it. It has 3 effects. It's pretty decent, maybe 10 to 15 each, but you do need 3. On to the next card is Witchcrafter Scroll. Once per turn, when your spellcaster monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can draw 1 card. Huh. So hold on. You can attack all your opponents. Oh, it's once per turn. Okay, good. Good, because I was like, you can attack all your opponent's monsters. You can draw cards every time it destroys a monster, but it's once per turn. good. You can only use the following effects. We already know what the second effect is. It's going to allow you, it's a continuous spell, so I'm pretty sure you can place it to your side of the field. Yes. The first effect is if a Witchcraft monster you control would discard an activated effect, oh sweet, you can send this card from the... It has the exact same effect as the other one, and it's a secret rare. Yeah, I don't see both of these cards being more than $10 to $15 each, but I do see them being pretty good. The last card for Witchcrafters is Witchcrafter Masterpiece. If you control a Witchcrafter monster, target one spell card in either graveyard, and one card with the same name. Wait. If you control a Witchcrafter monster, target one spell card in either graveyard. Add one card with the same name from your deck to your hand. Pretty good. During either player's turn, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card in any number of spells from your graveyard. Spell summon one Witchcraft monster from your deck whose levels equal to the number of spell cards banished to activate this effect. You can only use each effect of Witchcraft Masterpiece once per turn. Huh. It says you can only use each effect. That's pretty good. So you can use both effects. That's good in one turn. I like this card, and it's a super rare, so it's going to be pretty easy. It seems like a 2 of for the deck. I love that the deck can play nice with spellbooks. It can play nice with Sky Strikers. You might even see some Sky Striker Witchcraft or Sky Striker spellbook Witchcraft hybrids going around. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that this is the best deck of the set so far. It just seems really exciting, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. Let me know if you guys want to see that, maybe against a meta deck, and then the other two bout it out for second place. Who knows? It'll be exciting to see. The last and final strategy that we're going to be talking about are the Evil Eye monsters. Now, from what I can remember, or from what Charlie told me, Evil Eye monsters are pretty trash. I mean, he tried to jazz it up, but let's see exactly what he was talking about. When this card is normal summoned, it's a level 4 Fiend monster. You can add one Evil Eye card from your deck to your hand. I already like this card. It's a secret rare, so it's definitely going to be the most expensive card for Evil Eye, but depending on how competitive Evil Eye are, this card can be $10, this card can be $20, it can be $30, it can be $5, it can be next to nothing. And we rarely, I don't think we've ever gotten 3 good archetypes in one set. This one, I mean, it's hard to top Witchcrafter right now. You can add one Evil Eye monster from your deck to your hand except for himself. If this card is equipped with Evil Eye, Celine, it's a quick effect. You can target one special summon monster your opponent controls, destroy it. Now that's, if the effect ended right there, it'd be a pretty decent card. Is it busted? No, but then you have to have this. You can only use this effect once per turn. Once per turn during your next standby phase after this effect was activated, destroy one card you control. Why? Why did you include that effect? Why would you? It's literally like it's like Mayakashi all over again. Konami gives it, oh, okay, this is a pretty good, it's not going to be competitive. And then Konami's like, nah, we didn't want to make it worse competitive. Let's shoot ourselves in the foot. Like, evil. Next is Medusa, Watcher of the Evil Eye. You guys already know TJ or Leo are going to play this deck regardless. I already have bad feelings for it. When this card is normal summon, wait, does the other one have to be normal summon? It's another thing. Not only did we lose Brilliant Fusion and our Nightmare Goblin, these cards are like, literally, you already off the bat, we have 3 cards and 3 cards that seem to need to be normal summoned. You can target one Evil Eye card in your graveyard. Okay, so this one's maybe a 2 of. Except Medusa, add it to your hand. If this card is equipped with Celine, you can target one monster your opponent controls in the graveyard, banish it. You can only use the effect once per turn. Once per turn during your next standby phase, banish one card in your graveyard. Why do you have that drawback? Like, why? Like, what was the point of adding that drawback? Catoblas, whatever. Familiar of the Evil Eye. It says you can target one Evil Eye spell or trap card you control once until the end of the next turn. This card cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. What? Oh, that card cannot, I mean, I guess. If you control an Evil Eye monster other than this card, and this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon it but banish it when it leaves the field. That's actually pretty good. That's good. It's a level 3 monster. The other guys are, Surzel is a 4. Okay, and the other ones are 4. So, I mean, so no XE Thieves, but at least we get some link plays. Next is Basilisk, Familiar of the Evil Eye. This is another 3. If you control the Evil Eye monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Finally, you can only special summon this card once per turn. During your main phase, you can send one Evil Eye spell or trap card from your deck to your graveyard. Okay, that's not bad. That's pretty good. See, the deck is starting to make up for itself in these other Evil Eye cards. Zerizio, ruler of the evil eye. It requires 2 evil eye monsters, 2+ evil eye monsters, so that's unfortunate. If this card was link summoned using a monster with 2600 or higher attack as material, wait, hold on, wait a minute, let me put some pimping in it. These monsters are weak! What are you doing? No! You required 3 evil eye, or 2+ evil eye monsters, and none of them have 2600 attack unless it's you so far. So if we have no other evil eye monsters with 2600 attack, this deck is literally dead before it was alive. If this card is link summoned using a monster with 2600 attack or higher as material, this card can make it a second attack. Do something! Let me search. Let me, like, if this card was used as a 2600, like, bypass the next standby phase effect, give me something other than a double attacker. Oh man, this card's a headache. If this card equipped with Evil Eye Selene, I'm assuming since it was a link 3 monster that needed a 2600 attack, it's not gonna have a drawback. You can target 1 card your opponent controls, banishing. It's a quick flick, that's pretty good. You can only use this effect once per turn. Once per turn during your next standby phase, negate the effect of 1 effect monster this card currently points to. Well, if it doesn't point to anything, I guess it doesn't have a drawback. And sometimes negating monster effects could be beneficial. So, I mean, Archetype's not looking good so far, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, I'm just saying it how I see it. I wouldn't put more than $5 on any of these cards so far. Equipped only to an Evil Eye monster. Evil Eye of Selene, the card that we are looking for, the secret rare. Please be our savior. It cannot be destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effects. Okay, that's pretty cool. Also, your opponent cannot target it with card effects. That's really cool. Each time you activate the equipped monster's effect or activate another Evil Eye spell or trap card, the equipped monster gains 500 attack. Okay. And if it does, you lose 500 life points. We ain't popping off today, are we? We are not popping off. So I guess if you use your Evil Eye monster's effects enough times, you can make them 2600 attack and then link off with them. But, I mean, the attack gain will remain even if this card leaves the field. If this card is in your graveyard, you can pay 1,000 life points, then banish 1 Evil Eye spell and trap card in your graveyard. Set this card. You can only... No! This is legitimately a mediocre card. This is like, I'm sorry, Evil Eyes just, Charlie tried, guys, Charlie tried. Next is Evil Eye Dominion Periodolia. I know I butchered that name, ladies and gentlemen, but let's see what the card does. When this card is activated, you can add 1 Evil Eye monster from your deck to your hand. Sweet! Once per turn during your damage calculation, if your Evil Eye monster is attacked while you control Evil Eye Selene in your spell and trap card jar, you can activate this effect. Any battle damage you would have taken is also inflicted to your opponent. Okay. If this card is in your filter zone destroyed by a card effect, you can target 1 Evil Eye monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only activate 1 domain once per turn. It's not bad. It's decent. It's probably the second best card of the entire deck. No more than $5. Next, ladies and gentlemen, is Evil Eye Awakening. It is a secret rare. Spell summon 1 Evil Eye monster from your hand or graveyard. Now, this would be great if our Evil Eye monsters didn't gain their effects only when they are normal summoned. Or if Evil Eye Selene is in your spell and trap card zone, you can spell summon 1 Evil Eye monster from your deck. Again, this would be great if our Evil Eye monsters did not need to be normal summoned to gain their effects. This is just bad. Like, God, Konami, you need a real one like me to be making archetypes, because, you know, I would have made Evil Eye good. I wouldn't have made it too busted, but I would have made it good. This is my Akashi all over again. This is not great, ladies and gentlemen. And my Akashi actually seems better than this. My Akashi versus Evil Eye. That seems like a good live duel. Evil Eye Confrontation. If you control... Well, I'm not going to be playing Evil Eye. Anyways, if you control the Evil Eye monster, you can target 1 spell and trap card your opponent controls destroyed. I mean... Twin Twisters is a card. If Evil Eye Selene is in your spell and trap card zone, the destroyed card is banished instead of being sent to the graveyard. Oh, it's a quick play. I mean, Mystical Space Typhoon is a card. It's okay. I mean, like, it's not bad, but the fact that Evil Eye, like, needs more cards, like good cards, that's a decent card. Evil Eye Repose. Maybe this will change our minds. When you activate this card, you can also banish 1 Evil Eye card in your graveyard, and if you did draw 1 card, that is freaking awesome. That's already good. Once per turn after damage calculation, if your Evil Eye monster equipped with an Evil Eye Selene is attacked. I love how they all include Evil Eye Selene, because they allow you to get additional benefits because Selene is so mediocre, which could in turn make the deck as a 1 a lot better, since Selene isn't a great card, and you can't necessarily splash it with other decks. You can banish this card. Well, you probably could. You can banish this card. You can banish that opponent's... Well, I'm sorry. Let me rewind. If your Evil Eye monster equipped with Selene attacked an opponent's monster, you can banish that opponent's monster. Discarding the spell and trap card zone is destroyed by a card effect. You can target 3 of your banished Evil Eye cards, return them to the graveyard. I like this card. It's a secret rare. It's one of the better cards. You know what? I might be ragging on Evil Eye, but maybe I'm looking at it from a one-on-one perspective, trying to find that busted card, when them as a total could work a lot different. We'd have to get into our playtesting phase for me to be able to confirm or deny that completely. Evil Eye of Defeat, or Evil Eye Defeat. If you control an Evil Eye monster, target one monster on the field, return it to the hand. If Selene is in your spell and trap card zone, you can target 2 monsters instead. That's what I'm talking about by a pretty decent card. So yes, it seems like this is not that bad. Next is Evil Eye Retribution. When a spell or trap card zone, when a spell or trap is activated while you control the Evil Eye monster, negate the activation. Whoa, whoa, whoa! And if you do destroy that card, if Selene is in your spell or trap card zone, the activation, this card's activation cannot be negated. Whoa, that's a 3 of, and it's a secret rare. Evil Eye just got like a freak ton better because they have a searchable Infernity Barrier. That is pretty freaking good, but that is it for Evil Eye. If you guys ask me, I don't think that the archetype right now will be more than $30 when the dust settles. Like for everything, 3 ofs of everything, I think maybe $20 or $10 would be closer to it, but it does look fun. And it's Evil Eye Retribution and Infernity Barrier inside of the deck is pretty good. I like it. So far, I think that the Evil Eyes are a decent archetype, but let's talk about those reprints that you guys may have missed. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now that we are done talking about the 3 archetypes, let's talk about those reprints. And one of them actually is a sneakily decent reprint. It's Confronting the Sea. It was a rare card that was in Judgment of Light, and it got a super rare reprint. Not really much to talk about. It's a pretty decent card. Next is Jurigato. It only was in Battle Pack, or Structure Deck Battle Pack. My apologies, it's actually in Structure Deck Power Code Link. So the Infinity Chasers reprint. I mean, I guess it does help the Evil Eye get them to their 2600 so you can link off with them. That's a pretty sneaky reprint. The next thing I want to talk about, a huge reprint that I don't think that a lot of people would be following on, is Hidden Armory. Now, Hidden Armory only has 2 prints. The first one is in Warrior Structure Deck, which came out in 2009, and then the second one was Astral Pack 1 in 2012. Now, I decided to hoard a lot of these cards because it was a super rare from a set that was 7 years old, and unfortunately it came as a super rare, and the Infinity Chasers just squandered my dreams by dropping it as a super rare again. I'd still pick up some Hidden Armories, just 3 ofs. They're maybe like 9-10 cents when the dust settles, just to have some. You never know when this card can be good. Unfortunately, it's not good with Evil Eye because you kind of need your normal summon. Next, we're going to be talking about Secret Village of the Spellcasters. A nice little super rare reprint again. I think that was kind of cool to have another super rare reprint of Secret Village. Performable Sky Magician has a super rare reprint. Just pointing it out there that Performapals are getting reprinted for some reason. We might get some more for Performapal Report. That support, that's what it normally signifies. Mythical Beast Jackal King is probably the card that everybody is hyped over. It was an ultra rare in Extreme Force, hit the $22, and now is a super rare inside of the set. This is going to be the most sought after reprint inside of the set, and for good reason. All the other reprints are mediocre to not necessarily relevant at this point in time. Arcanine Magician is another reprint I want to talk about. The last reprint of it was in 2016 in Premium Gold, but nobody likes Premium Gold. So the print before that was a Duelist League, and then the print before that was 2009 Crimson Crisis. Its original print. It's a super rare. It's getting another reprint as a super rare inside of Infinity Chasers. So I might want to look out for you guys, or this card being somewhat important. It won't go up in price, at least for another couple of years, but it's still nice to know that Konami might be supporting this deck, not just with the structure deck, but in the future. Next, Megafauna Beast Draco Sack having its first reprint in 2014, and then 5 years later getting a super rare reprint. This will make those Dragon Ruler decks a little bit more accessible to players, especially since Big Eye has received quite a few reprints. Draco Sack now following suit. That's pretty good. Dragon Rulers are finally budget. I mean, because Draco Sacks were still $10 each. Next is Magician's Right Hand. I thought I would point that out because it's a super rare now, a rarity upgrade, and Magician's Left Hand as being a super rare upgrade. And last but not least, Spellbook of Knowledge. This is a card that I feel everybody should be picking up. I'm not sure if Spellbook of Judgment will come off this list. Hopefully, just for economic standpoint, it doesn't. if it comes off the list within 2 years, let's say 2 years down the line it comes off the list, super rare spellbook of knowledges will be like $7 to $10 and ultra rares will be like $20, $25. So yeah, that's just some food for knowledge. Get it? Food for knowledge. That's just something that you guys should know about just in case it does go up. And that's only if spellbook of judgment doesn't come off the list for the next couple of years. So it is a long-term investment if you ask me. If it were to come out right now, then obviously it won't have really any impact because circulation is still out there, but it's still, you know, a really nice card to have. That is it for everything in this set. Is Infinity Chasers a good set? The TheCaliEffect would give it a 6.5 out of 10. That seems to be where every single one of these deck build sets come out. They're not too great. They always include one of those decks that are really good, sometimes even dominant like Side Strikers, really good like Invoke, and could make an impact on the meta. But overall, this set is something that you shouldn't look to buy a case of, but you should definitely buy those singles. Thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the TheCaliEffect. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a like, and if you didn't, let us know what we could do to be better. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'm going to go play Baptiste now.